y'all, got another garden share for you today. This is the pergola that we built last year at the beginning of the year, and you can see my grapes have just gone crazy all over this thing. The growth rate is amazing. So anyway, I got various things down in this bed, mostly yellow alpine strawberries. Thank you, Holly. We love the yellow alpine because they're beautiful in a salad. There's something different, and the birds don't pick at them because they're yellow. They don't recognize them as fruit. So this is a bunch of borage. It's not blooming yet, but I love borage, so I left it here even though it reseeded itself in the lawn. That's okay. Gotta be flexible, accept the freebies. Let's take another look at this pergola from the other side. So here it is from the other side, and the vines are all the way across and trailing down. They planted a couple more back here to climb up the posts that are over the patio. So this is over the patio, and it's not really covered yet, but like these posts right here, I planted a couple, you know, because this is when we continue our sidewalk on around, this will be under the sidewalk will be under the pergola. So anyway, I've been doing some pruning back here, so ignore my mess. I used to worry more if like my house looked perfect and stuff, but now I don't know, I've just kind of chilled with age, I guess, and I don't worry so much about the small stuff anymore. So I got a few sunflowers over here, and the leaf miners have been really starting to get to my chard. We had a few good cuttings off the chard, and now it's just starting to bolt. The heat is getting to be too much for it, and I've got some tomatoes mixed in here and some summer squash that's coming. So anyway, not terribly impressive because that was recently cut down. This patch down here, or this stretch, I guess is better because I haven't cut it, but it's really starting to bolt. So anyway, all around the outside, this is my little prayer and meditation spot back here. So, but all around the outside we have various, I've got elderberry, I've got a lot of ribes, I've got some blueberries and honeyberry mixed in. We've got some filberts, two different type of filberts. So more pruning that I did. But anyway, it's all really filled in with, there's one of my big filberts mixed in right here. It's just a forest back here. I actually like it because it's really shady. It stays cool even on a hot day, so I'll pause and go around. So this is our old apple tree I'm standing under, and it has quite a bit of apples coming on up there. And I need to get some water in that bird bath, I see. But we've got comfrey down under here, and the comfrey loves this apple tree. It's blooming right now, and it's kind of pretty. I like the graceful flowers on the comfrey. So just more of my jungle back here. Different irises. And I just leave this digging fork back here because I'm always weeding and whatever as I get to it. I've got a lot of walking onions in here. And you know, a thing with walking onions is people don't like when they spread and stuff, but when I find them starting to drop over toward the lawn like this, I just take them and crack them over so that they'll fall back into the bed. So that's my technique for, I guess, keeping them from dropping in areas I don't want them, like the lawn. So, like this one here, that's got quite a bit of onions on it. I'll just crack that one over so it falls right back in the bed instead of out into the grass where it's going to get mowed. So, back here's a bunch of strawberries I had transplanted from up front because the strawberry bed is so huge and overcrowded up front. And then, all the way down this side, I put in all the tomatoes, and we've got beautiful sunflowers that are taking off back here. Thank you, Shirley. So look at this one. The kids came to me the other day so excited because one of them was opening. Isn't that beautiful? That's kind of a burnt orange color. Definitely a surprise to see something cool and different. So speaking of something cool and different, see these flowers right here? Those are radishes. I had planted radishes in among the Jerusalem artichokes, and they bolted, so I just let them go, do what they do. But here is their pods. That's going to contain their seeds in there, so I'm just letting them go. It was a beauty blend, one of the blends of mixed colors, so I don't know what I'll really get, but I'm a seed saver, so I'll save them and see what happens. So here's that line of tomatoes from the other end. Oh, there goes a monarch butterfly. So anyway, and then I've got a couple of planters here. These two planters, they are kind of a funny story because I had some planters, actually I had 4 just like this, that I had filled with soil, and when I was planting my petunias in cells in the greenhouse, I spilled seeds, and the seed happened to land in the planters that I had filled. So you can see they're just crowded with petunias, but they came up on their own. I didn't do anything for them, and they're just like a mishmash of, you know, the seeds that I spilled. So anyway, those were freebies. And then lemongrass, and this plant here, I can't even remember what that's called. It's an annual. Christopher liked it, so because it's white. So it has a tag in here. Dusty Miller, that's called. So we just picked it up because I like to encourage him to take an interest. And we were in the garden shop and he was like, wow, what is that striking white plant? So I was like, well, if you want one of those, we'll take it home. So anyway, on into the mulch garden here. Got some mint and some thyme and planters to help control the spread. I like to put my herbs into planters if I have some space for them. So anyway, I've got yellow beans and green beans, and then all along the side I have got currant plants that I've propagated, Perfection and Imperial. So some are going to be reds and some will be the white currants. And then this bed here did have beets in it and they weren't doing super well, so I went ahead and planted some of the cauliflowers in there. Got a couple of rosemaries and some parsley in the back there, and chives in the other tire. And then I also had some herbs in this bed that mostly have been pulled out, and got some elephant garlic still in there, some comfrey, some lavender, a whole bed full of walking onions. And I do the same thing in here. If they start to drop over into the pathway, I just break them over back into the bed. So, but anyway, this bed here has got a sunflower in the middle, and then got some Brussels sprouts. Sorry, the name wouldn't come to me, and some more little cauliflowers. So, and then I have some various plants on the potting table here that look like they need water. So, some oregano that's potted. The greenhouse is pretty much a storage shed right now. It gets so unbearably hot in there. So, anyway, I got some lemon balm in this planter. And then this bed is kind of interesting because I had to put these tomatoes somewhere, so I just went ahead and stuck them in this bed. But this bed has sweet potatoes growing in it. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know what they'll do. This is really only my second year trying to grow sweet potatoes here in the north, but, you know, they're looking pretty good, so I'm hopeful. And I just went ahead and stuck those extra tomato plants in there with them. Like I said, I'm always over planting things. I crowd stuff in wherever I can. So here's some little pots of Jerusalem artichoke tubers that I potted up late for Bianca, so those will go to live with her, and I just want to go ahead and give them a start. Actually, it looks like one of them is poking its little leaf up right there. Check that out. It's already coming up, so some of them are alive and doing well, even though I kept them so late in the refrigerator. So anyway, here's some young cucumber plants starting out. That one looks like it's getting flowers on it already. That's the market more. And then this one here's a climbing Japanese. So we'll see if those actually do anything. This one here's a funny, this plant here is a funny story. I was eating a grapefruit for breakfast and I found a seed in there that was sprouted inside the grapefruit. So I took it and planted it, and now I have a grapefruit tree. I have no idea how big they get or if I can actually keep it. I mean, I might be able to because I can give it a controlled environment if I need to, but just interesting and fun just to grow something weird and wacky and different. So here's my Jerusalem artichokes I showed from the other side of the fence. And they've got radishes, those radishes that are bolting. They've got all around mixed in with them. So, and over here, got kaleettes, more elephant garlic, more kaleettes and elephant garlic, broccolini, an herb bed. We'll get around over there to that in a second. Some sweet peppers, cabbage, tomatoes, and then kale. I should actually harvest some more of this kale and put it with our dinner because that's getting really full. So maybe I'll come back and cut some of that after I'm done with this video. Anyway, here's a currant bush. I'd like to dig this currant bush up and move it outside of the mulch garden. So move it to one of the permaculture areas. So we've got some dill and the lovage. Got peppercrust, garlic, chives, also known as society garlic. Some are savory. Just a little this and a little that. And then this is an interesting plant, valerian. I just got this from Brandy at the plant swap. Thank you, Brandy. And there's my beautiful golden oregano. Isn't that gorgeous? And this is a Bartlett pear tree that it's under, but I don't see any fruit on this tree this year. The tree looks healthy and wonderful, but I don't see any fruit on it. However, I do see fruit on our cherry tree over there. Look at all those. There is cherries all the way up in there. This tree is loaded down this year. So anyway, here's cilantro, and of course it is bolting also. And then I've got a couple of young blueberries back here in the corner. This is nice acidic soil back here for them, so I think they're pretty happy. I know that they flowered and they probably have berries coming on them. So anyway, last year I got a contorted mulberry from Holly and one from Kathy also. So here is one of them, and there's another one over on the other side I'll point out in a second. I think we're done on this side. So I think I pretty much showed everything. Don't climb on the tree. Don't pull on its limbs. So,
I'm just trying to see if
more mulch I need to spread. And there's the chives. And here's that other contorted mulberry. And then I have some grapevines I've started back here. These are the first year ones, and some of them didn't come back. They don't always take. So, and then, but those are second year ones. They're doing good. Okay, so when we're back around to the parsley. This is my moon glow pear, and I know it has quite a few pears on it. So yeah, check them out. Can you see those? Anyway, yeah, they kind of hide in there until they start to turn a little bit. There they are. There's some babies in there. Anyway, alright. Oh, there's a whole bunch more up there. These are yummy when they're ripe. Very yummy. So anyway, I'll go around to the squash garden. So this area is just kind of the dedicated squash garden. And it just has a few winter squash. Last year, I really went overboard with growing winter squash, and I had so much extra winter squash. We went and took most of it. We give a lot of it to friends at the church, and there's no way we even used half of what we grew. So anyway, I have a few sunflowers growing back here. Thank you, Nancy. My friends are so good to me. Everybody's so generous in our group. So anyway, I know I've got some spaghetti squash here, and there's a little Hubbard that Holly insisted I take home from the plant swap. So we have a Hubbard, even though I wasn't going to do any this year. And then Christopher grows pumpkins every year, year to year. So he's got a few little pumpkin plants in this row. They're actually Christopher's and Benny's. But we've been clearing back here because this space actually is going to become our RV parking space next year. So we won't be growing squash here again. But, and then these last ones, gosh, I can't even remember what these last ones are. I hope I marked them. Oh. Oh, these are ones I got. Oh, these are the spaghettis. Okay, these are the spaghettis on this side. And these are the pumpkins. And then these ones, what are these guys? Oh, these are the sweet meats I got from Holly. Okay, so I have the sweet meats, and then the Hubbard is at the end of their row. And then Christopher's pumpkins, and spaghetti squash. And then we had, Christopher wanted to plant some more beets, so we planted them outside of the raised bed garden. And actually when we were clearing this area recently, you can see how much we've really cleared this out. And I planted a few evergreens in here that'll kind of help to maintain a privacy screen, but we trampled all over those beets. So, I mean, they've had insect pressure now. It's getting too hot outside. They're just not going to do anything, but Christopher's still tending them, so I'm just going to let him go ahead and see for himself that they're not probably going to do much. So, anyway, that's how we learn, right? So, anyway, but this is our north driveway right here. So, we'll be able to back the RV in here. And there's plenty of space. We measured, there's like 40 feet from the driveway to this back fence. So we'll be able to back it completely in here, and it'll have its own spot with privacy from the road. I wanted to show this real quick. I did this earlier this spring, and it's just got, you know, a simple border with some mulch and some flowers just to kind of make it look more finished. It was just a bunch of stubble underneath this tree, and I just wanted to kind of make it look clean and finished and low maintenance. So I need to get out here and water my flowers. That's the only thing. I don't have water out here, so I carry a water can out and water this pretty much every day. Okay, so this is just kind of a wild area over here where we had just planted a few extra things. And so these are all turnips that are in here. Actually, they're ready to harvest. I need to pull them out and probably use them within the next few days. I love the turnip greens also, so I'll wash them and we'll, you know, use them. But there's a nice one under there, look. Can you guys see that? And then there's more under here. Here's a good one. Here's a good one. And then here's another good one under here. I can't move those leaves. So there's one. And then there's one under there. Can you see that one? A whole row of them. Pretty decent. Not bad. There's a guy under there. So not all of them made nice turnips, but there's some good ones in there. So anyway, this is the lilac tree, and this side over here always gets so dry. So I was thinking that this might be a nice place for our pond. We have our fountain over there, and we could actually open this bed, transplant some of those Asiatic lilies, and open this bed, and then dig this whole circle out right here and make that into a pond. So, you know, then we would have it flow down from our existing fountain. I think that would be so easy to do. So, anyway, I really need to get over here and pull weeds. I've got some azaleas and some hostas. Thank you, Kathy. And more Asiatic lilies. Yes, I know they need to be divided, but I love it when they come up and they look like just like a natural bouquet of flowers. So pretty. So more azaleas. And yes, I know I didn't take down my Christmas lights. Might as well just leave them up because it seems like I take them down and then I'm putting them up again before you know. So anyway, another hosta. So actually this bunch right here in front of the fountain, this bunch of Asiatic lilies I could take out and just make a path for the water to flow down, a stream for it to flow down from the fountain, and then just come into this area out here. All of this. We have actually quite a large circle right here that we could make into a pond. So, and following it right along. So, anyway, this is also the base of my almond tree right here. But look at those flowers. So pretty. So pretty. They're just starting to bloom. I love them. When they come out, they're just striking. They really bring something. So, and then back here I have some of my big currants. So, this one here, I have a problem with bindweed. Who doesn't, right? But, so I've got so much bindweed in here that this used to stand upright like this, and it was almost as tall as the top rail on this fence, but the bindweed has got wrapped into it and pulled it over onto its side. So it's not actually that wide. It has a narrow base, but this is the side laying over. Sorry about my phone, guys. I should have muted that. So, anyway, but these are the Imperials right here, so you can see, we'll get in here real close. That's what they look like. That's what they look like right there. They're actually a white, or, yeah, here's a bunch of them. Look at all those guys. And they are pretty tart, but you could eat them off the plant. So, and then this is the Perfection. Isn't that Perfection beautiful? Yeah, just beautiful. Look at all of them in there, and they're just now turning red. So there's a lot of them that are still kind of pinkish in color, kind of diluted looking, but they're going to really ripen up beautiful. And here's another one. This is also an Imperial, but you can see what I mean about the bindweed. The bindweed is just twisted around and around. I hate that stuff. You can pull that all summer long, so I'm sure you all know. But anyway, so I think that's about it. Make sure that you also watch my video on the artichoke bed that I did the other night before I cut my artichokes, so that you guys can kind of see, you know, how my artichokes did this year. I'm pretty happy with them, so got something useful out of them. Well, I hope you enjoyed seeing my gardens. I love you all. See you later. Bye.